spotlights on the patio, it's time to highlight all the different people we talk to on the mic. Different variations and facets of life. Kicking it with Kim, she about to take us on a ride. Your favorite podcast, you can tune in worldwide. Close your mouth and just open up your mind. Listen with your heart, you never know what you'll find. The conversations we have is like gold mines. So pick up all the jewels, all the gems and the tools. Nothing's off limits, we don't follow the rules. More like dialogue, more than an interview. About to break the internet, Kim will keep you in the loop. The spotlights on the patio, it's time to highlight all the different people we talk to on the mic. Different variations and facets of life. Kicking it with Kim, yeah, she about to take us on a ride.
What's up, y'all? It's welcome to the Patio with Kim podcast. I'm your host, Kim, and we're here to bridge and build friendship through communication and conversation. Tonight, I'm honored to have my friend Laurie Newsome Hope, who I've known since 2004, 2005. We haven't seen each other in about 19 years. It's great seeing you.
Good to see you.
Tonight we're going to be talking about part 2 of our coping with loss segment. Starting out with, what was a loss that you've experienced that you still coping with today?
My biggest loss, and I think the worst loss of any person alive today, is the loss of my son. I lost my son in August 22nd, 2016, to a bike accident. Unfortunately, he was riding the bike.
When I seen it on Facebook, I was like, no. My heart went out to you because I couldn't imagine. I can't imagine the heartbreak. I can't imagine. And you're such a strong woman, and I'm so proud to know you because you give me strength in knowing that you can get through something like this. So, tell us a little bit about baby boy James. Let us know the joy of your life.
James was my rock. James and my ex-husband and I divorced when James was 1. So James and I I raised him from the time he was 1 until obviously he passed, and he was 21 when he passed. He had moved out of the house about a year prior, had just gotten his own place.
Man.
But we spent every waking hour together. He was my date for dining ins and dining outs.
Okay.
He was a black belt in Taekwondo. He had graduated high school. The year before he graduated high school, he actually saved the life of another child by way of CPR, something I taught him because it was something I used to teach in the military.
Right.
And that child ended up being one of his pallbearers, which was like the circle of life all over again.
Right.
He was just a good person. He would help anyone.
I remember him because he was a nice kid. I didn't mind my son being around him. It was a joy to be around him. So it was like, I knew this little boy, and I couldn't understand it. And I just was like, what do you say? There's nothing anyone could say to really comfort that type of pain. The day you got the call, if you don't mind sharing, how did you feel?
There's so many emotions. There was anger. I think anger was my biggest one. So I'm like, dear God, really? My only baby, that I put everything I had into, everything I had.
I don't mean to open.
No, you're okay. You're okay because I'm okay. I lucked out in the sense that when he passed, I was actually working in mental health at the time. Okay. So I had nothing but doctors, nothing but psychiatrists and psychologists and ARMPs literally surrounding me.
Right.
Unfortunately, not at 1:00 in the morning when I got the news, but
Oh,
as soon as they found out, I had a shield around me that
right.
was fierce. And having gone through so many things prior to that in my life, I already had my own personal strength. So that was helpful. Being a woman of God, even though he and I had some serious arguments after this happened.
Right.
Luckily, we had the relationship we do, because it was like, look, really, Daddy? Come on.
Right.
But so, and that's how I got through. I yelled at God. I yelled at people, but they knew what I was going
it was
through. They didn't
just,
take it. Yes.
yeah, your hurt, your pain.
But people knew that, and they let me yell at them. They're like, get it out, get it out. So it was rough. I mean, there was meds involved, but there was time. I was off work for almost 3 months.
I don't know that I would have went back to work.
So, yeah.
I might not have made it back to work. So you are
luckily I worked in mental health, so
right.
They didn't expect a lot when I came back.
And that goes to show how strong your faith is and how strong of a woman you are, because I mean I don't even want to put the words in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
Because I'll put it this way. One of my kids just disappeared, and I called the cops and was going crazy. So no.
And I had done that. I mean, not that time, but
right.
I had done that times before when he was still living with me. When he was supposed to be home at such and such time and he wasn't there, and I'm calling the cop. The night he saved that other kid's life, he got home late because obviously stuff had happened.
Right.
And I'm calling the cops, I'm calling the hospitals, and they're like, well, there was an incident down at that lake. And I'm just like, what? Which lake? Where's he at? What's the hospital?
Right.
I'm halfway to my car, and he finally comes strolling in. What? Nothing happened. Because they don't understand what a mama's heart goes through.
Right. I mean, no, just the inclination of it all. Like, sometimes people say they feel things during the day, or something just makes them think of something, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you're like, maybe that was my window of seeing that something was going to happen. I just didn't realize it was going to happen to me.
And you know what? I was actually in a car driving back from Washington, D.C. when the accident happened. And I had fallen asleep, and I woke up, and it was like, felt like I had gotten kicked in my chest. And I was like, what the heck is going on? But I didn't know what had happened. So we made it home, came home, dropped the bags off. My mother-in-law at the time had driven with us. She had the car, so she left and she was going home. She's supposed to call us when she gets home.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't call. It's like an hour later. What the heck's taking you so long? Because she lives 15, 20 minutes. She goes, girl, there was an accident. It was a bad accident. They got traffic all rerouted all over the place. Little did she know, that was my baby.
Oh, my goodness.
And the child that she was claiming as her grandchild, her only grandchild. Oh, I'll take that lie back. Not her only grandchild, but her only adult type grandchild.
Man. Yeah. So, I mean, she could have actually ended up seeing him, and
she could
not even that. That's another breakdown. I was just passing by him, and I didn't know that it was him.
Yep.
So, did anybody like have to come stay with you for a while?
I was still married at the time.
Oh, okay. So his your husband was there. Your ex-husband.
My ex-wife was there.
Oh, my apologies. I don't mean no disrespect.
It's all good.
Your ex-wife was there. Okay, that's great, because you had the comfort.
Yes.
But I know,
and but in all honesty, literally, I had people, somebody was in this house at all times, even if she wasn't.
Okay.
Either from mental health or from the church, somebody was here 24/7. I was never alone, which got a little rough at times because I'm like, get away from me.
I just need a moment.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I got yelled at because after all was said and done, I got the call that his ashes were ready. And I'm like, you know what? I snuck out of the house and I went by myself to go pick him up. So I'm like, this is the last time I get to drive alone with my son.
Right.
And I took that opportunity.
That's cool.
And I got yelled at when I got home. How dare you? You could have broken down on the road and, started crying and got into an accident. Da, 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 da. I said, nope, I wanted this time with my son. So I did it.
Right. And you had every right to deserve that time with him.
Yep. I knew I'd never
get
a time
to drive
alone.
for 5 hours, I would understand.
Yep.
Because, you just want to talk. And
that's what we did. I buckled him in right next to me and we talked all the way home.
Yeah. So, how are things now? How are things now with you? I know it's been some time, but it's still like yesterday.
It is like right now. I tear up now thinking about things. Certain things will happen and I will tear up. I went to go see One Love when it came out. Mm-hmm. Bob Marley was he was the big Bob Marley fan. And I went to go see it and we played his songs at his homegoing and just everything. And so of course I cried during that movie just thinking about him.
Right.
I went Sunday to a wedding. A friend of mine's daughter who had been friends with James since they were 3.
Oh, wow.
And it just makes you think, I'll never get to see him get married. I'll never have grandchildren.
Yeah.
And it just brings up all those memories. So there are things that are rough periodically, but at the same time, there are things that happened and things that continue to happen that make me know that he's okay. I actually considered several blessings in it because it happened right before a certain election. Mm-hmm. And my son sometimes forgot he was a man of color.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, that's going to get you in trouble, baby. You need to realize when you're out here,
right?
You're not in Japan anymore. You're not on a base where everybody looks at you as just human.
Right.
No.
Our babies were sheltered. The military, that's the one thing they do. They sheltered our kids, especially when you're overseas.
Yes. Because he got pulled over on his bicycle.
Where they do that?
What did you do on a bicycle to get pulled over by the cops? Come on.
Right. Where they do that?
Ask for an ID. For what? I'm on a bicycle. But yeah. So, and this is right before that election. So it was like, okay.
So I do know that you started a foundation at one point. Or did I misread that?
You misread that.
Okay. I thought
I was going to a group, a coping group, a bereavement group, but I never started one.
Okay. My apologies.
Not a problem.
There too, because I thought I had, but that's neither here or there. So like on a great day for you, what are your best ways of acceptance, I guess you could say, that try to keep his memory going, but you also try to just keep yourself going?
The way I do it is by loving on other people. Like I said, I'm a therapeutic foster mom now. So I take the kids that other people won't. I take the kids that have been sexually trafficked. I take the kids that are in the alphabet mafia. So the LGBTQIA kids whose parents have kicked them out because they think there's something wrong with them when I don't.
Right.
And I love on them. I give all the love that I would have given to my baby to them. And I keep his memory alive because I talk about him. I go visit him. I do everything in my power to keep his memory alive. He was my first tattoo. Spent 20 plus years in the military, but he was my first tattoo.
Okay. So, like, when you have that one day that you just don't want to get out of bed, you know, what do you do? Do you just stay? I'm trying to ask these things without insulting anything.
I understand.
Like, what
motivates me to get out of bed?
Yes.
My foster son right now. I still have a body I have to take care of. So got to get up and get him to school. When I don't have him, I actually have a service dog now. I still got to get up and feed her. I still have to get up because somebody out there needs to know something. Somebody out there, heck, my boyfriend may need a hug. I got to get up. There's more to my thought pattern is God took him because he had finished whatever he had to do down here, whether it was just saving that other child's life or whether it was getting me through something that I was going through. He finished what he had done. Obviously, I have not because I'm still here.
Right.
So I got to keep getting up and putting one foot in front of the other, or I'll never finish what I was put here to do.
That's a great outlook. That's a great outlook because I know people that they just stuck in the past as far as just life in general. And when you add in something like that, it could tear somebody apart who's not strong enough to handle the amount of courage it takes just to get up and say, okay, I'm going to take a shower today because
please don't think I didn't go through all of that. Okay. I went through all of that.
No.
I had my time where it was just like, yeah, whatever, the teeth, the shower, whatever. I'm in my bed with my teddy bear going, really, God?
Right. I know, like, I know people that have gone through this, but it's hard to express yourself to someone when you have empathy and you want to be as best of a supporter or a comforter as possible. But I do know that some people, they just push you away and just like, look, I don't want to be bothered with nobody. And so a lot of people do ask for advice sometimes on how to, what coping techniques you could offer as advice if ever having to meet someone who also is suffering a type of loss like that. I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words.
You're fine. You can offer your assistance, and if they say they need the space, just respect that and let them know that you're here for them whenever they're ready. I'm here for you, whatever you need when you need it. If you're not ready now, I understand that.
Because I know, in the heat of the moment, some tempers can flare up, and then it's like, well, I'm just trying to help you.
Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Because right then and there, we are not in our right minds. Our mind is done. Our right mind is in a grave somewhere with our baby.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize how tough this one was going to be. But I'm glad you're able to find a passion, a love in the world for other children who are not wanted in some way or another, because as a parent, especially a single mom, how do you tell your child that you 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 don't want them anymore when there's people like you who would love just one more chance
Yep.
to see theirs?
I don't know how they do that. I could never, ever. You know me and James. I mean,
Yeah,
we're the biggest
thick
thieves.
as thieves.
There's no way. There's no
Mhm.
way.
I don't, other than you being at work, every time I seen you outside of work, y'all was together.
Yep. Together, cooking, whatever. I remember my friend came up to Japan and James made them breakfast, and they're like, "What do you mean your son knows how to cook?" Heck yes, he knows how to cook. He'd have dinner ready when I came back from, them 12-hour shifts playing war games. Yes, we cooked together. We did everything together.
That's so great.
We traveled together. I was so glad because when we were there, I took him to Australia, I took him to Hong Kong, I took him to
Oh wow,
we did everything. And I was so glad,
that he done that.
hindsight being what it was, that I did all those things. Enjoy. That's one of the things I constantly tell people. Hug your babies every day. Enjoy them while you have them because you never know.
Mhm. The my Randall, my older one, he still lives with me. He's just getting ready to leave the house for the first time, and even though he's 26, I'm paranoid about that. I mean, I know he's a man now, and
But the
we
world is
both
crazy.
right. And with me moving out of state, I'm like, mm-mm. So, um, I know everyone grieves differently. So,
Hmm.
we always have those personality struggles in the world with how to approach people or how to talk to people. When you talk to your foster child about James, um, what kind of things, if you don't mind sharing, what kind of like things does he have, like feedback with you about James, or he just likes listening to all the stories?
He listens to the stories. A lot of it is just life advice. You know, you got to work on this because this, that, or that. This is how my son did it. This is how we worked through it together with him.
Hmm.
Just life advice. Just,
See, we did a lot of living.
he did in his 21 years of life.
We
He
did
did
a
a
lot of living.
lot.
And
Yes.
it's
He was
great that he was able to do all that.
he was actually enlisting.
Oh, was he?
Yes, he was. He was in the
Wow.
process of joining the Air Force. They just didn't have his job that he wanted ready yet.
Wow. Ah, man.
And I was so infuriated because he actually ends up getting hit by two cars, not one, two. And I'm pretty sure they were racing. But by the time the cops got there, they had their story straight. And they both just said, "We didn't see him. You didn't see this 6'2" guy on a white bicycle in broad daylight."
I'd asked for a breathalyzer and a drug test.
Thank you. Thank
Because
you. And no bushes, no nothing in the way. Nothing.
I know I seen the picture of the area where you
Mm-hmm.
they had the memorial,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, how could they not? How could
Oh,
they
we didn't
not?
see him. 6'2" on a bicycle, white bicycle.
Was you on your phone? I know there was 1,001 questions
I
that
think they
that
were racing because that street is notorious for people racing down it.
oh, okay, yeah,
And
they
they
was
were
like,
too busy concentrating on each other and the race. But that's just mom's opinion.
mhm.
And I wasn't there, thank God, because then I'd be in jail.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that. We always talking about I'll do 25 to life of mine, and I believe
Yep.
that. So it's been about 8 years now. Um, eight or yes, about 8 years. Um, do you still live in that area?
Yes, I still live in the same house I lived in.
Oh,
I
okay.
was
So,
standing right there when the cops came and notified me.
mhm,
I still pass by the area sometimes when I'm driving.
yeah. I mean, because you want to still keep that connection. I was just wondering if that was something you did, because I do know people that just want to get away. They just want to. I don't want to. Out of sight, out of mind type thing. So I was just wondering
I
if
don't
you.
want that. As a matter of fact, because of him now, I know exactly where I'm going to rest. Because he's in a niche, and I will be in that niche right next to him. He's in there with my dad, so the three of
Oh.
us will be chummed up together.
Well, hopefully not anytime soon. Lord willing, not anytime soon. You got a lot of work to do with these children. But I, with that said, I do know that you have obligations to take care of today.
Yes, I
So
do.
I don't want to hold your time up too much. But I do want to say that my heart will always and forever go out to you. And I'm so glad to know you. So glad to have known James. And if ever our paths cross again, or if ever you need anything, even if it's just to talk, I am here for you, and I will make sure that if you don't have my phone number, you will get it
Okay.
before within the next 24 hours.
Roger that. And come on down to Tampa. I'm always welcoming
Oh,
guests.
hold up, you would take. No, let me stop, because that's not the theme for tonight. But I actually had just went to Tampa for my first time last year with my little one, and he loved it, even though we didn't really get to go anywhere. But um, I am gonna go ahead and close this out, if you
Roger
don't
that.
mind, because I don't want to hold you up from your schedule. And I
Roger
do
that.
know. I thank you for still coming, even though we had a little changes and stuff. So
I
is
thank you
there
for having me.
no anytime. Is there any shout outs you would like? Any heartfelt say, hey, I hope you see this. I know
Ah,
he's shining on you. I know he's shining on you. I can see it.
yeah.
And I really I really hope we get to keep in touch.
We
Um,
will.
so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. All right, y'all, that's my time. Thank y'all for coming through to keep us company, to keep me company, to keep Laurie company on the Patio with Kim podcast. And I thank everyone who's tuned in tonight, and anyone who decides to listen wherever they receive their broadcast within the next few days. But until then, it's all love. And I hope y'all have many blessings.